Earth Authority declares you a threat, surrender now, alien fugitive. Starfall Protocol. The midnight sky erupted with emerald fire as the alien craft tore through Earth's atmosphere. Commander Nora Vega watched the trajectory through narrowed eyes, her breath creating small clouds in the chilled mountain air. The vessel wasn't following conventional entry patterns, it was evading, maneuvering in ways that screamed fugitive to her trained eye. Target is on descent vector toward the northern basin, reported Lieutenant Riker, his voice crackling through her earpiece. Impact in 45 seconds. Nora adjusted the settings on her tactical visor, enhancing the thermographic overlay. All units maintain positions. Remember, this is a capture mission, not an elimination. She squared her shoulders beneath the weight of her exosuit, its midnight blue shell absorbing what little light penetrated the forest canopy. The director wants this one alive. The alien vessel, barely larger than a terrestrial escape pod, slammed into the Earth 2 kilometers away, the impact sending tremors through the ground beneath her boots. No explosion, which meant the pilot had maintained some control. Experienced. Dangerous. Move in, she commanded. Containment pattern Delta. Her squad of 12 advanced through the dense forest with practiced efficiency. Earth Planetary Defense Force, the EPDF, represented humanity's first line of defense against extraterrestrial threats. Most civilians believed their main purpose was protection against asteroids and space debris. Few knew about the classified encounters with intelligent species from beyond the solar system. Even fewer knew about the ones that went badly. The crash site smoldered in the small clearing, steam rising as the alien metal cooled in the night air. The vessel's hull bore insignia Nora recognized, Praxian design, advanced technology from a civilization that had thus far remained neutral toward Earth. The craft's side hatch lay ajar, bent outward from within. Bioscanners active, Lieutenant Riker reported, his rifle trained on the opening. Getting unusual readings, not matching any known Praxian signatures. Nora frowned behind her visor. Pilot's already gone. Fan out, 5-meter intervals. And switch to non-lethal protocols. Director Harlow was explicit about bringing in the target intact. The forest fell silent as her team deployed, only the occasional snap of underbrush betraying their movement. Nora activated her suit's enhanced sensory mode, allowing her to detect minute variations in heat, sound, and molecular composition of the air. 20 years of EPDF service had honed her instincts to a razor's edge. Something about this encounter felt wrong, different from the usual border incursions or diplomatic incidents. Her scanner pulsed, detecting movement 30 meters ahead. Too fast for human motion. Contact, North Quadrant, she whispered into her comm, converge but hold fire. I'm moving to intercept. She sprinted through the forest, her exosuit amplifying each stride. The alien was quick, but injured, the trail of luminescent fluid visible to her enhanced vision confirmed it. The pursuit led her to a rocky outcropping that overlooked a small creek. There, silhouetted against the moonlight, stood the fugitive. Humanoid, but clearly not human. Tall, at least 2 meters, with skin that seemed to shift between deep indigo and obsidian depending on how the moonlight caught it. No visible hair, but ridged protrusions along the skull that might serve as sensory organs. The being wore what appeared to be a damaged environmental suit of unfamiliar design. Nora raised her pulse rifle. By order of the Earth Authority, you are declared a security threat. Surrender immediately. The alien turned, revealing eyes that glowed amber in the darkness. It spoke, its voice producing harmonics that no human vocal cords could replicate. Your language, imprecise, it said in halting English. I am Zyrex. Not threat. Messenger. All unauthorized entries to Earth space are classified as threats, Nora replied, her rifle unwavering as she approached. The Galactic Assembly protocols are clear. Your vessel entered without clearance and evaded contact. Zyrex stepped forward, hands raised in what appeared to be a universal gesture of non-aggression. Because interceptors would destroy before hearing. Earth Authority, the alien winced, a ripple of pain visibly moving across its features. Earth Authority, not what you believe. The sound of her squad approaching echoed through the trees. Nora had perhaps 30 seconds before they arrived and the situation potentially escalated. You're injured, she observed. Surrender now, and you'll receive medical treatment according to Galactic Assembly guidelines. Cannot surrender. Xyrex's voice carried an urgency that transcended species barriers. Must speak with Sentinel. The word hit Nora like a physical blow. Sentinel, a classified designation known only to highest-level EPDF personnel. How could this alien know that term? What did you say? She demanded, taking another step forward. I must reach Sentinel, Xyrex repeated. Earth in danger. Not from me. Before Nora could respond, the night erupted with light. A pulse grenade detonated behind her, its electromagnetic burst temporarily overloading her suit's systems. When her vision cleared, Lieutenant Riker and 3 squad members had surrounded Xyrex, their weapons trained on the alien. Target secured, Commander, Riker reported, the satisfaction evident in his voice. Director Harlow will be pleased. Nora removed her helmet, feeling the cool night air against her face as she studied the captured alien. Xyrex's amber eyes met hers with an intelligence that unsettled her. Not the mindless aggression of a fugitive, but something far more complex. The standard protocols apply, she instructed, maintaining her professional detachment. Full containment, medical assessment, and immediate transport to Facility 7. Commander, Xyrex said softly as the restraint field activated around him, ask why your superiors fear contact with Praxian observers. Ask why Facility 7 exists beyond assembly oversight. Riker scoffed. Typical alien psyops, trying to sow distrust. They all do it when captured. Perhaps, thought Nora, but the mention of Facility 7, another highly classified detail, could not be dismissed as coincidence. In 15 years of alien encounters, she'd never confronted a being who possessed such specific knowledge of Earth's security apparatus. Secure the crash site and prepare for extraction, she ordered, replacing her helmet. I'll escort the prisoner personally. The EPDF transport arrived within minutes, its anti-gravity drives nearly silent as it descended into the clearing. Xyrex was placed in a containment chamber at the center of the craft, surrounded by fields designed to neutralize any known form of alien technology or biology. Director Harlow's holographic projection appeared as they ascended toward the stratosphere. His weathered face betrayed no emotion as he surveyed the captive. Excellent work, Commander Vega. Your team's efficiency continues to impress. Thank you, sir, Nora replied. The subject has displayed unusual knowledge of classified EPDF designations. I recommend a Level 1 interrogation protocol once we reach the facility. Harlow's expression tightened almost imperceptibly. That won't be necessary. We have specialized personnel waiting to handle this particular visitor. With respect, sir, standard procedure has been superseded in this case, Harlow interrupted. This is now a matter of planetary security beyond your clearance level. Nora glanced at Xyrex, who watched the exchange with those unsettling amber eyes. The alien had said Earth was in danger, not from him, but from something else. And now the director was breaking protocols that had been sacrosanct throughout her career. Understood, sir, she replied, her mind already calculating possibilities. We'll deliver the subject as instructed. After Harlow's projection disappeared, Nora approached the containment chamber. The shimmering energy field between them distorted Xyrex's features slightly, but those eyes remained fixed on her with disconcerting focus. You mentioned Sentinel, she said quietly, ensuring her calm was disconnected. Explain. Sentinel is the final failsafe, Xyrex replied. The human chosen to verify if Earth's leadership becomes compromised. Your ancestor created the protocol. Nora's breath caught. Her grandmother had been one of the original architects of the EPDF, but nothing in family or official history mentioned anything called Sentinel. You're lying, she stated, but uncertainty had crept into her voice. The proof is in your DNA, Zyrex responded. Why do you think you were chosen to capture me? Why you specifically? Ask yourself why Director Harlow is breaking every protocol to keep us separated. The transport shuddered slightly as it began its descent toward Facility 7, the massive underground complex hidden beneath the Antarctic ice shelf. Nora had only been there twice before, both times involving captives who never officially existed in any record. Commander, we're on final approach, the pilot announced. Containment team is standing by. Nora nodded, her mind racing. Years of loyal service warred with the growing suspicion that something was deeply wrong. The alien knew too much, and Harlow's behavior diverged too sharply from established procedure. Has been superseded in this case, Harlow interrupted. This is now a matter of planetary security beyond your clearance level. Nora glanced at Zyrex, who watched the exchange with those unsettling amber eyes. The alien had said Earth was in danger, not from him, but from something else. And now the director was breaking protocols that had been sacrosanct throughout her career. Understood, sir, she replied, her mind already calculating possibilities. We'll deliver the subject as instructed. After Harlow's projection disappeared, Nora approached the containment chamber. The shimmering energy field between them distorted Zyrex's features slightly, but those eyes remained fixed on her with disconcerting focus. You mentioned Sentinel, she said quietly, ensuring her calm was disconnected. Explain. Sentinel is the final failsafe, Zyrex replied. The human chosen to verify if Earth's leadership becomes compromised. Your ancestor created the protocol. Nora's breath caught. Her grandmother had been one of the original architects of the EPDF, but nothing in family or official history mentioned anything called Sentinel. You're lying, she stated, but uncertainty had crept into her voice. The proof is in your DNA, Zyrex responded. Why do you think you were chosen to capture me? Why you specifically? Ask yourself why Director Harlow is breaking every protocol to keep us separated. The transport shuddered slightly as it began its descent toward Facility 7, the massive underground complex hidden beneath the Antarctic ice shelf. Nora had only been there twice before, both times involving captives who never officially existed in any record. Commander, we're on final approach, the pilot announced. Containment team is standing by. Nora nodded, her mind racing. Years of loyal service warred with the growing suspicion that something was deeply wrong. The alien knew too much, and Harlow's behavior diverged too sharply from established procedure. As the transport touched down and the extraction team prepared to board, Zyrex spoke one final time. Your grandmother's last words to you. What were they? The question froze Nora in place. Her grandmother had died 15 years ago, whispering something that had never made sense until this moment. When the stars fall out of pattern, find the truth beyond the horizon, she recited quietly. Zyrex nodded. The Sentinel activation phrase. You are the failsafe, Commander Vega. And now you must choose. The transport doors opened, revealing Director Harlow himself accompanied by armed guards, not in EPDF uniforms, but a private security force Nora didn't recognize. Commander Vega, Harlow called. You're relieved of duty effective immediately. Security concerns. Please surrender your weapons and exit the transport. In that moment, as her hand hovered near her sidearm, Nora Vega realized she stood at a crossroads that would determine not just her fate, but potentially that of her entire planet. Beyond the horizon. The Antarctic winds howled outside Facility 7, but within its reinforced walls, an even more dangerous storm was brewing. Commander Nora Vega's hand moved away from her sidearm, a gesture that appeared as compliance but concealed calculation. Her 15 years of tactical training hadn't prepared her for this moment, standing between a director she'd served loyally and an alien prisoner who somehow knew her grandmother's final words. "Is there a problem, Commander?" Director Harlow's voice carried the practiced calm of a man accustomed to obedience. The private security force behind him, 6 operatives in unmarked tactical gear, shifted their stances subtly. "No problem, sir." Nora removed her helmet completely, buying seconds to assess her options. "Just surprised to see you personally handling a routine prisoner transfer." Harlow's smile didn't reach his eyes. "Hardly routine when the prisoner possesses classified knowledge of our operations. The Joint Chiefs want this handled with discretion." Something in his phrasing triggered Nora's internal alarms. Joint Chiefs had no direct authority over EPDF operations, a deliberate separation of powers established after the Proxima incident a decade ago. "Of course, sir." She stepped aside, allowing the security team to approach Xyrex's containment field. As they began the transfer sequence, she activated her suit's emergency beacon, a silent distress signal that would alert Lieutenant Riker something was wrong. The security team disabled the transport's containment field and secured Xyrex with advanced restraints. The alien offered no resistance, those amber eyes remaining fixed on Nora with an unsettling intensity that seemed to communicate volumes without words. "Your team performed admirably," Harlow said, guiding Nora toward the facility entrance. "I've recommended commendations for everyone. You should be proud." "Thank you, sir." Nora maintained her professional demeanor while cataloging every anomaly. The facility's regular EPDF personnel were conspicuously absent. The security protocols for the main entrance had been modified. Small details that together formed a pattern of irregularity too significant to ignore. "I've arranged quarters for you to rest before your debriefing," Harlow continued as they entered the facility's main corridor. "It's been a long night." "I'd prefer to observe the prisoner's processing, sir," Nora countered. "Standard protocol for the capture team commander." Harlow's expression hardened slightly. "That won't be necessary. This subject requires specialized handling beyond standard protocols." Before Nora could respond, Lieutenant Riker's voice crackled through her earpiece, pitched low enough that only she could hear. "Commander, your beacon activated. Facility 7 security systems show unusual patterns." "Orders?" Nora needed to buy time. "I understand, Director. Then I'll prepare my official report immediately. The details are still fresh." "The report can wait until after you've rested," Harlow insisted, his hand moving to guide her toward the residential wing, and away from wherever they were taking Xyrex. "Permission to speak freely, sir." Nora stopped walking, forcing Harlow to pause. "Of course, Commander. In 15 years of service, I've never seen you personally oversee a prisoner transfer, never seen EPDF protocols suspended, and never been ordered to delay a mission report." She maintained eye contact, watching for reactions. "What makes this alien different?" Tension crackled between them. Harlow's facade of collegial authority slipped momentarily, revealing something colder beneath. "Your dedication to procedure is commendable, Commander. But there are matters of planetary security that exist beyond your clearance level." He gestured to 2 of the security personnel. "Escort Commander Vega to her quarters. Ensure she has everything she needs for her comfort and safety." The implicit threat wasn't lost on Nora. As the guards approached, her tactical assessment confirmed what instinct had already suggested: she was no longer a trusted officer but a potential liability to be contained. "Lieutenant," she whispered into her comm, code Erebus. "Track the prisoner." The first guard reached for her arm. Nora's training took over. A precise strike to the pressure point beneath his jaw, followed by a sweeping leg movement that toppled him into his companion. In the momentary confusion, she activated her exosuit's emergency systems. The corridor lights flickered as the EMP pulse radiated from her suit, temporarily disabling the facility's security systems. Harlow shouted orders as Nora sprinted down the opposite corridor, following the route they'd taken Zyrex. Riker, facility status, she demanded, dodging into a maintenance shaft as alarms began blaring. Security protocols in chaos, Commander. They've taken the prisoner to sub-level 5, that's off all official schematics. Nora accessed her suit's internal mapping system. Find me a way down. The maintenance shaft connected to a network of service tunnels that honeycombed the facility. Nora navigated by memory and instinct, evading security teams mobilizing throughout the complex. The further she descended, the more apparent it became that significant portions of Facility 7 operated outside official EPDF jurisdiction, a shadow operation within the legitimate one. Sub-level 5 required bypassing 3 separate security checkpoints. At each one, Nora employed a combination of technical skills and strategic timing, utilizing the chaos created by her escape. The final door yielded to an emergency override code, one her grandmother had insisted she memorize years ago, claiming someday it might be needed. Beyond lay a laboratory complex unlike anything in standard EPDF facilities. The technology appeared more advanced, with elements that appeared distinctly non-terrestrial in origin. At the center, surrounded by exotic equipment, Zyrex was strapped to an examination platform. Scientists in unmarked uniforms monitored displays showing detailed scans of the alien's biology. Nora assessed the situation from concealment. 5 scientists, 3 armed guards, and no sign of Harlow. The odds weren't favorable, but the scene before her confirmed that standard protocols had been abandoned entirely. Her comm crackled. Commander, Riker's voice was urgent. Multiple unmarked vessels approaching Facility 7. Not EPDF. Estimated arrival, 4 minutes. No time for subtlety. Nora programmed her suit's systems for maximum disruption, then emerged from cover with weapon drawn. EPDF command override, she announced, her voice carrying the full authority of her position. All personnel stand down immediately. The confusion that followed gave her the seconds needed to reach the nearest console. A precise shot disabled the restraint systems holding Zyrex, while her suit's electronic countermeasures temporarily blinded the laboratory's sensors. What is the meaning of this? Demanded the lead scientist, a silver-haired woman whose accent Nora couldn't place. I could ask you the same, Nora replied, moving to Zyrex's side as the alien struggled to rise. This facility exists under EPDF jurisdiction, yet none of these procedures follow EPDF protocols. Your understanding is incomplete, Commander, the scientist answered with surprising calm. This alien represents a level of threat beyond your classification. Zyrex finally spoke, his harmonics resonating with urgency. They fear what I carry. The truth. Nora made her decision. With precise movements, she disabled the guards before they could properly react, then secured the laboratory entrance. You have 2 minutes to explain what's happening here, she told Zyrex, before this facility is overrun. The Praxian Collective discovered that elements within Earth's government have been falsifying interstellar intelligence, Zyrex explained, his speech becoming more fluid as he recovered. Manipulating reports of alien aggression to justify military expansion. Creating incidents to maintain power. That's absurd, Nora countered, though doubt had already taken root. Is it? Zyrex gestured toward the laboratory equipment. Ask yourself why this technology exists beyond official record. Why Harlow feared your grandmother's failsafe enough to break every protocol when you captured me. The scientist had remained remarkably composed through the exchange. Commander Vega, your grandmother understood the complexities of our position. Earth stands vulnerable in a galaxy filled with civilizations far beyond our technological development. Sometimes protection requires methods that cannot withstand public scrutiny. Protection or control? Nora challenged. You're using alien technology while promoting fear of alien civilizations. My grandmother would never have sanctioned this. She didn't, Zyrex confirmed. That's why she created Sentinel, a genetic failsafe passed through her bloodline. You carry specific markers that grant you access to the truth when activated by the proper stimulus. The facility shuddered as something massive docked above. Riker's voice came through urgently. Commander, unmarked forces have breached the upper levels. They're not using standard EPDF tactics. Nora made her decision. Riker, initiate Protocol Nightfall. Then get your team clear of the facility. She turned to Zyrex. If what you're saying is true, we need evidence the Joint Chiefs cannot ignore. The evidence is here, Zyrex answered, moving toward a specific console with surprising confidence. Your grandmother ensured access points would remain, hidden from those who corrupted her work. The laboratory doors shuddered under impact as Harlow's security forces attempted to breach them. Nora maintained her position, weapon ready, as Zyrex interfaced with the system using methods that defied conventional understanding. How did you know my grandmother? She asked, the question that had burned since their first encounter. The Praxian Collective worked with her in the early days, before the isolationists gained control. She foresaw this possibility, that Earth might turn against peaceful contact out of fear. That's why she encoded the Sentinel protocol in your DNA. The console illuminated with data streams, classified operations spanning decades, manipulated encounters, falsified aggression reports, and technology acquisitions that had never been disclosed to the Galactic Assembly. Copy everything, Nora ordered, securing the laboratory entrance against the increasingly violent attempts to breach it. Commander, Riker reported, Protocol Nightfall confirmed. You have 10 minutes until system purge. The protocol represented the most extreme contingency in EPDF operations, a complete data dump to secured off-world channels, followed by systematic elimination of all facility systems. Designed to prevent alien technology from falling into hostile hands, it had never been activated outside of drills. We need to move, Nora told Zyrex as the alien completed the data transfer. There's an emergency evacuation system that can get us to the surface. The laboratory doors buckled under sustained assault. Through the widening gap, Nora recognized Director Harlow, his expression contorted with fury. You have no idea what you're doing, Vega, he shouted. This isn't about one alien or one facility, it's about humanity's survival. No, she replied, backing toward the secondary exit with Zyrex. It's about power, and who gets to decide humanity's place in the galaxy. My grandmother believed in cooperation, not fear. The facility's emergency systems activated as Protocol Nightfall progressed, sealing compartments and initiating containment procedures. Nora guided Zyrex through maintenance corridors toward the evacuation tubes, evading security teams disoriented by the cascading failures. The evidence will reach the right people, Zyrex assured her as they reached the evacuation chamber. The Praxian Collective has representatives among your Joint Chiefs, those who still believe in the original vision of peaceful cooperation. And if they're overruled? Nora asked, initializing the evacuation sequence. Zyrex's amber eyes met hers with unexpected warmth. Then the Sentinel protocol continues with you. As your grandmother intended. The evacuation pod rocketed them toward the surface as Facility 7 began its systematic shutdown. Through the viewport, Nora watched as the pristine Antarctic landscape receded, revealing the massive unmarked vessels that had descended upon the facility. Those aren't EPDF, she observed. No, Zyrex confirmed. Private military contractors. The same ones who have been staging alien incidents to justify increased defense spending and restrictive policies. The pod broke through the cloud cover into clear skies. Nora's comm activated with a secure channel she'd never heard before. Commander Vega, came an unfamiliar voice. This is Admiral Thorne, Joint Chief Special Division. We've received the Nightfall Protocol data. A secure extraction team is being dispatched to your coordinates. The genuine EPDF response, at last. But Nora's trust had been irrevocably shaken. How do I know you're not part of Harlow's operation? She demanded. Because your grandmother made me promise to protect her granddaughter if Sentinel was ever activated, the Admiral replied. Eleanor always said you'd be the one to finish what she started. Nora looked at Zyrex, who nodded slightly. The vibration pattern in the transmission matches Praxian verification protocols. This human speaks truth. The evacuation pod systems indicated an approaching aircraft, EPDF markings, but utilizing a classified approach vector that only the highest levels of command would know. What happens now? Nora asked as the craft drew nearer. Now, Zyrex replied, you fulfill your grandmother's legacy. Earth stands at a crossroads, continue down the path of fear and isolation, or rejoin the galactic community as equals. The alien's expression conveyed something surprisingly human, hope. The Sentinel Protocol was never just about uncovering corruption. It was about lighting the way forward. As the extraction craft secured their pod, Nora Vega understood that her world had changed irrevocably. The uniform she wore, the oath she'd taken, all would need to be re-evaluated in light of what she'd discovered. Beyond the horizon, she murmured, recalling her grandmother's words. Not just a code phrase, but a vision of possibility. Zyrex placed a hand on her shoulder, the gesture transcending the differences between their species. Your grandmother believed humans and non-humans could build something greater together than either could achieve alone. That future still waits, beyond the horizon. The extraction craft secured their pod and began its ascent through the clouds. Below, Facility 7 disappeared from view, taking with it the secrets of a corrupted path. Ahead lay uncertainty, danger, and the prospect of a truth too long hidden. But for the first time since those fateful words in the forest, by order of the Earth Authority, you are declared a security threat, Commander Nora Vega felt the certainty of purpose that came from standing on the right side of history. The horizon beckoned. Retriclawed can make mistakes. Please double-check responses.